Hi, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you one of my best exercises and drills that you can improve any tight hips, tight areas that you have on your lower body to help you feel better in yourself. Now, it's going to require you to be patient in terms of dedicating maybe 10 to 15 minutes of your day to this, but I can promise you that once you've done it, you're going to be feeling fantastic. And if you're doing it consistently, you're going to see a massive change in how your body moves. And again, an understanding of how and why certain things happen to your body. So most commonly people have tight hips, tight inner legs, lower back issues. Now, I do this consistently if I have these issues. So starting off with a trigger ball, this could be a tennis ball as well. We're going to be getting ourselves down onto the floor. And the first part of the thing we're going to do is going to target just the top of the hip here. And all we're going to do is just release that part of the hip. So we're going to be, as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm just going to hold it in position and then just drop my leg over, and I'm just going to apply some pressure to that area. This for people majority of the time is going to be super painful, but once you've started to establish release in this area, as you can see, I'm moving my leg to create some movement in the joint. So from here, I'm just trying to play around, be playful. And again, I don't have to apply so much pressure. I can apply mild pressure if I need to. Doing both sides, just to help with making sure we're fixing any imbalances. And again, I can't stress this enough. This will be very tender to most people, so you have to be aware. So you only want to be spending around 20 to 30 seconds each side, which then, if you've got the right equipment, so you've got either this trigger ball or a tennis ball, you can move to there. We get the foam roller. Now, ideally on the foam roller, we want to be either elevating ourselves up onto something so we can target the inside of the leg. Or if you don't have anything, you can lie down on the floor and then just target the inside leg here. It's not going to be as effective. You can get some books, or quickly show you. You can get a block, which then elevates it a little bit, which then can help with you getting more deeper into it. But because I've got the equipment, I can work with it. So as you can see, I get myself on a nice tall stool. I place my hands on it, and I'm always thinking about a karate kick. So my leg stays straight. One thing that I often see is people let their knee drop in like this. So we need to make sure that we're in a nice postured position, and all we're doing is just rolling through. As you can see, I'm placing it here. I can move it a little bit higher and then basically keep moving. And I can also turn my leg straight and get underneath it like that. So we're going to do this with both sides. And this is vitally important. Again, knee out, karate kick. This is vitally important before we get into anything. And a lot of times people find this they try to avoid doing this, but it helps calm down the muscles to help sort of get us ready to do side lunges, which we're going to be doing, rotational work. So now, if you do have a yoga wheel, it's going to be beneficial. If you don't, you can use a block. If you don't, you're going to have to use your body weight. Now, what we want to try and do is find any surface that we need to make sure that we can hold our balance. If you want to then challenge your balance, you can obviously use no surface. Now with the yoga wheel, or the Pilates wheel, however you want to call it, I'm going to place my quad, not my knee, on top of it. Today I'm going to just show you with holding onto something. And here, I'm not going to leave my foot too far behind me. I'm going to get it nice in a 90-degree angle. and I'm going to be now trying to extend. This is the muscle I'm trying to extend. I squeeze my bum cheek and I posture up nice and tall. So the good thing about the yoga wheel is it makes sure that my leg does not bend. So all I have to do is focus on squeezing my bum cheek. If I want to advance it, I can do rotational, raise my arms in the air and get used to rotating and twisting. But if you're just beginning, you can just start in this position, holding on to something that keeps you balanced, anything that's going to keep you balanced. So again, keep thinking, if it's going into my lower back, squeeze my bum, squeeze the bum, squeeze the bum, squeeze the bum, squeeze the bum cheek. And then I would then keep trying to play with the balance, because the balance is what's important to then eventually long term, you'll be in that position where you'll feel nice and strong. Swapping legs. Again, this side, there will be most likely one side that's tighter than the other. And this is where you should emphasize on doing a little bit more on one side to help with creating that, that balance, the imbalance, well, not having imbalance to create balance. Now, this is targeting the hips as mentioned, but I must squeeze my glutes to make sure that when I stand up, say if I was standing up in a deadlift, I'm trying to extend my hips to then make sure my glutes are working. The problem is when people try to like do any RDLs, they can't extend their hips because this is too tight and they miss that part of the hip extension. So as you can see, just spending a good, maybe depending on how tight it is, a good 2 to 3 minutes on each leg is very important. So you can really start to really get that good stretch, open out the body. And because you're practicing squeezing your bum cheek, it's getting you to cue how to work the glutes more and more during exercises, rather than thinking, why is my glutes not working? Right, so again, spending like 2 to 3 minutes on each side. I know that you're probably thinking of doing this side, so I'll do it real quick. So I'll just do some extra ones here. And now we can go into the next drill, and that is utilizing, opening out, stretching the glutes. Now, obviously for the purpose of what I have here, I've got a gym. I need to show you first of all with how to do this with the block. This would be with the block, you can alternate the height. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you may want to place some form of cushion. This is me showing you how to maybe save money when things are a bit more expensive, and you can actually pretty much apply the same thing the same way without actually needing to buy it. So you could just put like a towel on top, simple things like that. So now, hopefully you would have felt that you've stretched your hips. That would have been good to take the load off. It's a great way to extend. Now with a chair, an incline chair, an adjustable chair, we're able to now open out the hips. This is a great way for beginners to stretch their glutes. With that being said, going into the leg, we obviously have to go around the other side. Just a reminder that the foot goes on the seated part, knee. And again, you will start to find out which side is a lot tighter. Can you see this back leg is bending? We want to avoid that. We want to try and practice extending nice and straight, and then posturing up. From here, we can then start to rotate towards, posture up and rotate towards that knee. The great thing about this is that we've got our hand position, so we don't feel like it's a struggle, but you're gonna get a great stretch through not only the hip, but the glutes. From these positions, you wanna be spending, I would say 1 to 2 minutes, because you'll start to notice that one side's tighter than the other, and it might need that extra bit of addressing. So for me, my left side is my weak side. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time on my left side to be able to sort of get a greater stretch. So I'm just going to keep my posture high, keep extending that back leg and driving across to open out this hip. Again, this is a great little drill for you to start squatting. So if you feel like squatting is a big difficult thing and you struggle with your hips, this is perfect if hips are the one. So from there, we've done 2 drills. Now, the third drill is the side lunge, and now it's going to help with opening out the hips. Now, for this purpose, we're going to use a TRX. Now, with the TRX, it's just helping making sure that I can keep the consistency of the reps. I can use my body weight, which I will demonstrate in a minute, or you can use such things like rings, anything, or even just using a wall, which I'll explain in a minute. So with this, the side lunge, I'm going to be making sure that I can sort of focus on the inside of the leg. So when I bend to the side, I'm going to extend my leg straight. As you can see, my toe raises from the floor. I get a good stretch through my leg, and then I can pop up. The good thing about the TRX is I will know if I'm leaning backwards to do it or I'm not got any tension on the TRX. So I want to always have tension on the TRX, and I'm able to keep the consistency of going side to side. The cue for this is always keeping, not tilting forward, but keeping a postured up position. But as I can see, my knee and my hips cue the opposite way at the same time. And I'm able to try and think I'm going down. Every rep, I want to keep thinking I'm going down a little bit each time, a little bit more each time. So you can see I'm swapping my hands with the TRX. So opposite hand. So if I'm going to go left, I put it in my right hand. So it just helps me from falling back, holds me up. So I'm just going nice and smooth, and I want to be doing around 20 reps, 10 each side. That will just complete a drill. And what you can do is then, if, as mentioned, if it's something that tight hips, you can assess after doing that, all those drills. Hopefully there's a lot of tension off. A good way to cue that, if you're not sure, is squatting down. And as you can see, the squat movement there looks very smooth, and I'm very happy, and I can think, oh, there's not much pain. If there is pain in, say, most commonly the hip area, you may want to just go back to just sitting back onto the ball and addressing those areas. If you feel like the glutes are a bit tight, you can just go back onto here. And the purpose of this one is not to follow how I'm doing it, like step by step. It's just listening to your body. You can do it step by step, but just listening to your body as you're doing it and going, this needs more attention than, say, side lunges, for instance. So I mentioned on the side lunges that you can use the wall or use something to hold on to. So again, you can hold on to something if you don't have a TRX, and you can just go side to side, which helps make sure that you're not falling back. But again, the key focus is the long-term goal is to be able to do it with not needing any sort of assistance. Hopefully that helped. It's one of my better drills that you can do to improve your hips, your lower back pain. And if you enjoyed it and you found it useful and you've done it, maybe just say thank you, I don't know, or let me know that you've done it. That would be useful. So these videos are showing that they're useful to not me, people. You're giving feedback to other people that you've done it, tried it. Again, the key part is You can apply it to maybe improving your squats, or just generally reducing any discomfort and pain in those areas as well. Give that a go, and if you have any questions, just drop me a DM.